Good morning. Another excellent question from you that I'm going to talk about today. I love getting these questions. You finally get the point. Get the woman to talk about what she likes to talk about and she will like you. This is the big secret of what women want. Women want to be listened to. And this is to illustrate what I'm preaching here. Read this, it's quite funny. Yeah? I thought it was funny. Okay. Now, what was the question? The question was about foreigners. Foreigners who come to Samui. I told you that my friends are very colorful here, from all over the world, different countries, different religions. What do they do here? Why do they come here? And how do they adapt? Now, there are two groups of people who move countries. The first group, and this is the larger group, are the people who are not happy with their current situation in their own country. And the grass seems greener on the other side because their friends have moved and they're happy. And we're not happy back here, so if we move, we'll be happy just like our friends. Now, what is the problem? Is the problem with the country and with the situation, or is the problem with the people? The problem is always with the people, because there is something inside them that doesn't give them the feeling of happiness. Their own fault. If you find happiness here, wherever you go, you will find that same happiness, because you carry it inside you. If you don't have the happiness here and blame it on the bad economy, politics, environment, whatever else, you will move and you will find fault with everything in that country. And I've observed that in New Zealand, in Korea and here in Thailand, that people who were not happy back home, they move and they're not happy here, although the factors are different. They say bad things about the country, but they don't move back because that was even worse. And wherever they go, they carry this negativity with them. Oh, you get the point. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Now, the second group of people are people who were happy back home. And now they're looking for adventure. They're looking for something new. And I belong to that group of people. Now, that group of people is smaller, considerably smaller, because if people are happy, they cling to it, usually, because they finally got what they wanted, what they needed. I'm past that stage. When I have something and I'm happy, I know that the happiness does not come from the group of friends, or from the nice apartment, or from the nice car. I know that that happiness comes from the inside, and this is just side effects of it, because when you're happy, you radiate love, and love attracts all sorts of good things. If you're not happy, you radiate negativity, and negativity attracts negativity, more negativity. Why do people say that they got a black stripe in their life? You know, like zebra, life is a zebra, and in their life there's always like black stripes. There are no white stripes. And you say, well, this happened and that happened and that happened. Why does this happen to me? All these bad things. Because negativity attracts negativity. Positivity attracts positivity. And this is linear physics. I don't know if this works in any theory that's in the textbooks, but on practice it works exactly this way. When you smile, you attract smiles. When you growl, you attract that exact emotion in other people. And trouble sticks to trouble, like glue, like a magnet. Not the other way around, sadly. Okay, so this other group of people, us, the Linas, the Orshas, Angelas, who else? Quite a few people here, people I associate with. Not the major group. It's probably about 100 people on the island. They are in paradise. They see this as paradise because it's got a beautiful climate, lots of fruit, lovely kind people, and everything that you need for life. If you want to go watch a movie in a nice, clean, new movie theater, you can. If you want to go watch a concert, you can fly out an hour, and the flights are not that expensive. Bangkok, Singapore, Hong Kong, direct flights from Samui, if you really crave culture. But there's a lot to learn, at least for a few years, about Thai culture. just by being on samui. There's a lot of traditional things, there's a lot of psychology, a religion that you can sort of engage in learning. It's not just like a village with nothing happening, because this is a new culture. There's a lot of new stuff going on, and of course I'm really curious about all of it, and I want to learn about this, about that, about that. It's just not enough time, so got to take it step by step. And what do we do work-wise? I think everybody is doing what they enjoy doing. Osha, she's a nutritionist. She loves to help people with diet advice, and this is her job, and this is what she does. What did she do back in New Zealand? What did she do in London? She worked in the office doing completely different work, which was not making her that satisfied and that happy. But here she has a chance to do what she wants to do, what she enjoys doing. Because here life is cheaper, and you don't get caught up in the rat race that you have to have a good job, you have to have a good house and a big car. Because people are not so judgmental, and they will not judge you if you're renting a house or if you're owning a house, and what sort of clothes you wear, what sort of slippers, what brand of slippers do you wear. It's just not present in Thailand. You have the freedom to be yourself, and this is what I like about this island. That people will look at a lady boy and say, "This is a lady boy," and it's like, "Oh, this is a lady boy. Oh, this is a lady boy." There is this neutrality about all sorts of people, and of course people love to gossip like in any small village kind of place, and everybody knows everybody, but there is no real judging. He's the rich guy, let's not be friends with him. He's the poor guy, let's be friends with him, or let's not. More neutral. And on the other note, I know that yesterday at the end of the video, you could see my underwear, but it wasn't my underwear. I wear yoga shorts under the skirts, because this happened a few times and I had to re-record the video. And don't get too excited, you didn't see my underwear, and this is actually shorts, see? Haha. So I can sit like this and it's still fine. No, I bet somebody would leave a comment that, "Oh, we can see her underwear on the last minute." It's not my underwear. So you saw shorts. Might as well not wear a skirt and wear just shorts. Now, what does the other group, the major group of foreigners who move to Thailand do? Well, a lot of them are retired men from Europe, and they come here with money and use their pension, say from Sweden or Switzerland, and just live here very comfortably with a nice house, swimming pool, and a young girl. And the girls consider it like a kind of a long-term job, and they're okay with it. They would do everything around the house and make the guy happy. Yes, they're probably 30 years or 35 years younger than the man, but it is their job, and it's a good stable job that provides a good house, food, clothes, and travel. So Thai girls are very happy when they can sort of get themselves into that position called Mia Farang, which means a wife of a foreigner, although they rarely get married because the foreigner has a wife and children back home, but or might be divorced. But anyway, there's no reason to get married. They can sometimes, but usually it's like a live-in sort of slave situation where both people mutually get benefits from each other. There's a large group of retired men who usually have a belly and look so ugly and just like content and happy, like, yeah, like a slug. I don't have friends like that, but I've come across a lot of people like this. And they just enjoy life and enjoy the situation that they could not get back home, because no girl 35 years younger than them would look at them back home. And here it's true love, of course, from their point of view, although deep inside they know that this is not the case, and the girl is there for the good job, being his wife. Another group, Russian bums. Yeah, there are a lot of those, and there are like 2-year, 3-year overstays. selling drugs and living God knows in what sort of places. I don't know where they get the money from. Well, if they do something with drugs like marijuana. And I heard this from the immigration guys. So there's that group. There's also a group of, there are a lot of Russians, and there are Russian families, children, who have money, who brought money with them, bought a house, bought a car, sent their kid to the international school, and the schools are good here. The international schools are really good. And are living a quiet, happy life in a beautiful climate and look really happy. They've worked hard and now they can afford not working and just living here. I guess there's some business back in Russia running and supplying money to them. Everybody tries to open some kind of business here, but the business is not for Thais, and it isn't really for the benefit of Thais, but for the benefit of foreigners. A lot has to do with tourism, so there would be diving, there would be weddings, there would be DJs, there would be bars and restaurants, of course, jet ski rental, boat rental, whatever rental, bicycle rental, motorbike rental, car rental, and that sort of stuff. And of course, accommodation is the big one too. So a lot of hotel owners, most of the hotel owners are not Thai, of course, because Thai people wouldn't really need to go into that much trouble to make money enough to live. They don't really have this greed. Not too much. No greed, no business mind either. But yeah, a lot of foreigners own hotels and bungalows and pool villas that they rent out and live comfortably on that. And from the income, build more and more and more. So Samui looks like a construction site at the moment. Even in this quiet little corner on the south of the island where nobody comes and you can't hear the bikes or the cars, there is construction over there, and it's everywhere. You can't avoid it. Samui is growing rapidly, and they're about to, I was thinking about opening a second airport, although that's still a plan, and even thinking of building a bridge to the mainland, which would be a very long bridge. But who knows, maybe it will happen in the future. Anyway, I think with this kind of ecology and this being a reserve, you're not allowed to build in the middle of the island, so all the mountains are preserved, and there's this area around the mountains and the beach where people can build businesses and houses. And there are some areas here and there where people gave big bribes and still built houses in the mountains, but mainly it's nice, clean and green in the middle, and everywhere you drill and there's spring water. The sea is pretty clean. You can see by the sea cucumbers that still live in the water, and they only live in clean water. And there's a lot around here. Population is growing quickly, and when there are more foreigners, Thai people come from different provinces too. The native population is not that large at all. There's probably like 6 major families and their extended relatives on Samui. Of course, they know each other and they work all together like one big family. But they just have their own something. Like these people, they're native and they're related to the mayor's family. And they have this huge garden here with these 2 houses for rent. And this is where their daughter lives, and this one they sold to foreigners, to French people. And they're happy with that. And they have their big durian garden and mangosteen garden in the mountains. And so there's land. They have more land in Lamai. There's land. There's this huge area of land that brings them enough money to exist. And they don't strive to get a loan in the bank for the land and then build a big hotel and make more money and more money. It's just not there. It sort of has a level of enough. Talking about enough, I was listening to the radio earlier on doing yoga, and they were saying enough is good enough. It's like a slogan for the people. Imagine that on your radio, in your country. Enough is good enough. And what that means is like, don't be greedy, don't be satisfied with what you already have. And this is on the national radio, between the news about politics and economy and so on. So I think that is a very good method, or you'd probably call it propaganda, and discourages people from evolving, from developing, from coming up with new ideas, of new businesses, and wanting more and more and more. But maybe that is a good thing. Maybe that is a good thing. Of course, with all the new models of this and this, cars and iPhones and whatever else, it's conflicting with their principle of enough, because on TV you have a new iPhone which they say is better than the old one, so you should get one. Then on the radio they say, well, enough is enough. Then where is the truth? I already have my phone, why should I get a new one? But the advertising says there must be a new one. There's a movie star advertising it, so it must be good. It's a bit of a conflict. Could really observe this when I go shellfish picking. You go to the sea. Now it takes an hour and a half to pick a bag like this, so you have to search really slowly, put in the time, and a lot of back exercise, and I went there with a Jewish friend once, and the Jewish friend, it was his first time, so how the other people do it, and he said, well, this is too time consuming, we could come up with some idea of how to scoop the sand and pick out the shells and make it a lot faster. And then I caught myself thinking the same thing of how can I speed up the process, what sort of tool can I make to get these shellfish out of the water quicker and make them more visible, maybe spread some sort of I don't know, sugar or something, like read about it on the internet, what makes them open up, and if they open up I can see them clearly, I can pick them quicker. Why do Thai people not think about this? Why do Thai people still go about picking shells one by one and preserve the environment? There is no greed, you can't buy shells like this at the market because they're so hard to pick. Yet, we with our Western thinking, we were taught innovation and we were taught to think of easier methods to do things, not the traditional methods necessarily. How can you pick more shells quicker? But imagine if I invent some sort of like a stick with little sticks like a wide rake and just go and sweep the seafloor. That would probably bring out all the shells on that square meter, right? Pick them quickly and then do the next one, pick them quickly. There goes a big bag, and then I'll give these people and those people and those people, and probably go sell some at the market, right? If I was to make that my business. And then what? After a month or two there would be no shells left, right? Because they can't regenerate so quickly. A shell like this takes a long time to grow. So our innovative thinking and our how can I benefit from this? How can I save the time? How can I save my back from this exercise? How can I make it easier? Is this ruining us or is this helping us? Here they still do a lot with the traditional way. If you look at grinding pepper and garlic, and it's still this in a stone bowl with a wooden or a stone thingy. Like doom, 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 doom. Okay, now there is a thing like blender which does the same job. You know, a smaller section of the blender, and you can just do it in seconds. But hey, I'm sure a blender was not a Thai invention. They would still do it this way, the traditional way, like how their grandma did it, and grandma's grandma did it. And that is nice. That is real interaction. You don't need electricity for it. You take your time to do it. You really feel how hard it is to do it. So there is love, there is effort, there is work, and there is time put into the food. It's not It's not a microwave and it's not a blender. It is the traditional way of doing something. Kind of enjoy this about the country too. Now, getting back to your question, the larger group and the smaller group of foreigners here. The larger group, mainly consumers, they treat Thai people like they're their servants. They don't have any Thai friends. They don't want to interact with Thai people because Thai people are stupid. They don't speak English or French or Italian. Like, how stupid is that? And then they don't want to engage in any activities that Thai people do, really, unless it's a festival and we can take some pictures and upload them to Facebook. Like, yeah, what a freak show, but would not actually be interested in what the tradition is, where it came from, why do they do this and why do they do that, and what it means to them and how do they feel on a day like this. That doesn't matter. Go there, take a few pictures, upload them to Facebook, say, hey, cool, this is Thailand. What is this? I don't remember the name of this holiday, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Because it's so colorful and bright. And then all the other services, mainly run by foreigners on the island, are made for people like that. There are restaurants, there are translation services, there are lawyers, there are people who do everything for them. If they want to buy a house, yes, there are English-speaking people in construction, they're English-speaking lawyers, they're this and this and this and this. It's all very much organized to accommodate this life of relaxation and being able to be at the beach and bitch about Thailand every day. The lady who has a son who has a trampoline, who just built a condominium of 10 apartments. She hates Thailand, and she says this, even in front of Thai people. I hate Thailand. I think your culture is, and I don't like you. I don't like your food. I don't like anything about it. And they're like, why are you here? Well, to do business, to build condos and charge other foreigners big money for the life in these condos, and then come back to Australia. Because Australia is so cool. But I wonder, when she does come back to Australia, is Australia really that paradise that made her leave in the first place? No. In Australia it'll be a different thing. Oh, this is not right, that is not right, and this is not good. What is happening to the world? Why is every place so not good? Why is every place not making me happy? Look inside. It is inside you. Oh, it's a big bee. So this is to answer your question, was it enough? Another one was about university and how was my university life. Didn't really have much of a life when I was a university student because I had to work really hard. First, it was very hard to get into university because I was only 16, and second, because I had to pay for everything myself. I lived alone since I was 15 and had to work after school and do the homework, all the assignments and so on. So there wasn't any parties or drinking, or drinking was before that when I was 14, but anyway, still at high school. But yeah, university life was hard. Studying and working. And studying hard because I wanted to be the best at what I do. My dream job was to work for Saatchi & Saatchi. Now when I think about it, this is so stupid. Why would I want to have a job for Saatchi & Saatchi anyway? Yes, they are creative, but I'm sure they just follow what the client wants. And being a designer at Saatchi & Saatchi. No, not now. No. Being in the city and working from morning to evening and overtime, because designers always work overtime. Would this be my dream job now? No. I'm glad I did not write that in my future goals, because if I did, I would probably have to work towards it, and now I would end up as a designer at Saatchi & Saatchi. Oh. Funny how values change. But yeah, university. I have a question for you. Is there an architect who could help me design a house for me? I want to use the golden proportion, golden ratio, and it would be a very simple house. But I've never done architecture. I can draw, but I don't know what it would look like as a house, and I don't know the rules. I'm interested in Feng Shui as well. So remember my Taiwanese friend was telling me that, no, you can't put a door there because the door is facing the bed. Your legs should not be pointing towards the door. It means that you'll have no luck and things like that. And it's interesting rules. So Feng Shui and the golden ratio, two main principles. And lots of light and lots of windows, of course, because I like freedom and I don't like to hide anything. I don't like caves or dungeons. I like dungeons, but not for myself. And yeah, so help me if you can. Or if you have interesting images that you found on the internet of, this is a really beautiful house. Have a look, maybe you might like some elements of it. Nothing too weird. No round sort of portable houses or really strange pyramids or anything like that. Something that still looks like a house, is easy enough to make for Thai builders who have not made a house like that before, and would not cost a fortune to build. So nothing too creative, but creative enough. Okay? There's your homework. Alright then. Bye bye.